An emotional day at the Marikana Commission as the widows and families of the 44 people killed in the Marikana share their stories of their loved ones. Statements and pictures were entered as exhibits in the commission with hopes that their pleas for government's assistance and reconciliation will be heard. All right, now today marks the second anniversary of the deaths of 2 policemen and a minor in Marikana. For their families, sharing some of their fondest memories of their slain loved ones has been difficult. The commission began with a moment of silence observed for the men who were killed by the striking miners in 2012. Many of the widows have asked government to help them with financial assistance as their main breadwinners were killed in the Marikana tragedy. The inquiry continues. Now, our reporter Nozintombi Mia joins us on the line from the commission venue in Centurion. Nozintombi, very good afternoon to you. But it must have been quite an emotional day for the widows. Please take us through their testimonies. What were some of the most significant details that came out today?
Well, a very good afternoon to you, Alicia. Today has been an extremely emotional day for the families of the 34 miners that were killed by police on the 16th, as well as the families of the 10 other people that were killed in the weeks leading up to the 16th. We saw that one of the women whose husband was brutally killed by police, speaking about post-mortems and how she had to go and identify her husband's body at the local mortuary in Rustenburg. It led to her collapsing. She was unable to contain her grief, and she ended up collapsing, and paramedics had to be called in to try and assist her. Eventually, she was then taken to the local hospital whereby they could try and resuscitate her because at that time she had become unconscious. So it certainly has been an emotional day full of drama for these particular widows who shared some of their stories about the last few days leading up to when their loved ones were killed.
Now, of course, Nozintombi, their testimony comes right after that of Deputy President Cyril Ramaphosa, who testified that he himself was aware that the miners' living conditions were inhumane. How was this received by those at the commission?
For many of the widows here, what they want to find out is the truth of who ordered police to brutally shoot 34 miners. And they had hoped that with the testimony of Deputy President Cyril Ramaphosa, they would get some sort of light, or they would find some sort of closure and information about what exactly happened on that particular day. But it hasn't seemed to have emerged at the moment as to why it was that police shot live rubber bullets at these miners that were striking, and it's been a very devastating situation for the widows who are here, because you'll remember many of them have been in attendance at this particular commission for the past 2 years. A lot of them have explained how their lives have had to be put on hold so that they could find justice for their loved ones, and they have pleaded with the commissioners, in particular Judge Ian Fallon, who is the presiding judge here. They've pleaded with him to make sure that when he comes out with his recommendations, he has got stern warnings for those who are in positions of power and did not participate or did not act in a way in which they were supposed to act. In particular, they're referring to the police. They've asked that Judge Ian Fallon finds the police guilty of shooting their particular loved ones. So it's been a very interesting day here, and the response from the widows here about Deputy President's testimony has been obviously what we were expecting, that they didn't believe some of what he was saying, and they just wanted to get the truth so they could find some closure for their loved ones.
Thank you. That's SABC reporter Nozintombi Mia, who is currently following the Marikana Commission of Inquiry in Centurion with the day's latest update.